Hello, everyone. It's Kim from K&RP here in southeastern Manitoba. It is a sunshiny day. One of my neighbors is burning, so my backyard's full of smoke. So it's, fall, definitely fall. Must be burning leaves or something, although they're not supposed to. It is currently 13 degrees Celsius out, which means it's 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Still t-shirt weather, still enjoying it. Although when I drove the boys to school this morning, it was only 1 degree out, so we had to wear hoodies, that kind of thing. Brr, that's all I can say. So today I want to do these tags that I saw somebody making on Pinterest. You know how Pinterest now has little videos, and there was this gentleman doing these incredible tags. So I have put the link below about where I got it from. It's Vintage Designs or Vintage Vibes. They do have a website. I haven't really. Their website is vintagevibesdiaries.com. That I didn't link below, but you can reach that through their the link on Pinterest. He said that tag him if you do it, share what you made, that kind of thing. Anyway, I was really intrigued by these tags and figured that I had to try it. I've got an icky piece of paper here. Is that any better? A little bit better. It's just this fold up. So anyway, this is the tag. Of course, he decorated the front. This is just a little band. So in the directions below, I've given you the rough estimate of the measurements. Hey, Teresa, welcome. So he decorated the front, and he made this little band. It was out of paper, the same kind of thing, wrapped around. He stamped on it. It was very cute. Please go watch his stuff. But when you open up the tag, look at this. Isn't that fun? So I was thinking, wouldn't that be lovely to put as tags on Christmas gifts for my grandkids? Well, you would put it for whoever you like. And write them a lovely little note inside. Oh yeah, my grandkids don't want presents. Anyway, or even if you were doing like a tag for a retirement or something, you could have a whole whack load of signatures. I used a 6x6 piece of paper because I've got that pad of origami paper that I figured would work really good for doing this. So I put the measurements in the box below. The lengthwise, I think we're like a eighth out. It's an eighth longer than it needs to be, but we're gonna worry about that eventually. I'm not gonna worry about that. So anyway, you need a 2.5-inch strip of cardstock for the outside, and this is 8.5, I believe I said, something like that. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to put a ruler against it. Look at this. Kim's measuring, roughly. So ruler numbers start there. 8.5 is here. Let's get something that writes. It's actually there. So let's just get that right on the edge. Okay, so it's there. So it's definitely 1/8 out. I'm not going to worry about that, right? 8.5 by 2.5. That's what you need. I have a 6-inch square of paper that we're going to fold. But we're going to start with 8.5 by 2.5. I'm going to grab my cutter. I'm working up high today so that you guys can see closer for how I'm folding. So, oh look, I need to unfold it. And it's not going to fit on here nice. Hope you are good today, Teresa and Belinda. Okay, doesn't quite fit nicely. We're going to just wing it. Because, I put it at the 8.5 mark. It's got a bit of a dip because the back feet aren't on. There we go. 8.5 by 2.5. See, look. That's what happens when I work high. Wait a minute, that's not what I meant. When I'm raised up on the bench. So you get this little piece left over. That's still going to make a nice tag, right? It's cardstock. Use it for other things. So we have this 8.5 by 2.5 piece of cardstock. We're going to fold that in half. And we're going to do it as neatly as possible, Kim. Line up the edges really nice. And I'm going to get a bone folder out and mush it because I can. Okay, so like I say, he decorated the front. So let's put something fun on the front of this. Of course, he had inks and all kinds of stuff, printed paper. Oh, speaking of printed paper, my daughter works for the government in the education division, the French education division, but they do a lot of work with the Indigenous people of Canada. And she has some books that they're throwing out because they throw out books. And a couple of them are in Inuit. So it's in the syllabic kind of writing. And she said if nobody has taken them, she's going to get them for me so I can use them to art with. Yay! Okay, let's just grab something here. What have I got? I have some of that German. I have no idea what this is, but we're going to use this. And of course, the gentleman had it all cut beautifully. I'm not going to cut it beautifully. I'm going to see that's too big. And he did it at an angle. We'll do it at an angle. But I'm not going to ink it. I'm not going to add any proofy stuff to it. I'm just going to glue that down. And you don't have to decorate the back. So it's going to go to there. Let's put a ruler against it and tear it off. Because I can. We know I can. Ruler's there. We're going to tear. Like that. Now we're going to glue this and put it down. Of course, like I say, he inked all the edges, made it absolutely beautiful. And he put flowers on his. I can put flowers on this too, just so that we're kind of following along. I'm looking for glue. Sorry. Here we go. I'm going to use glue stick. Speaking of glue stick, I ordered glue sticks today. Slapped me, but anyway, I ordered glue sticks because Beth and Anne-Laure and quite a few other individuals are altering that forest book with different magazine images, and they're having a blast doing it, and it looks so much fun. I've been wanting to do that since I saw them start, but of course, I'm not going to go and buy a book because I have lots of books. So I started altering a book yesterday, the day before. Maybe the day before. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I started altering a book with magazine pictures, and I'm having an absolute blast. I'll do a quick flip through after we've done this, or a couple of these. We'll probably just do one of these. Okay, so now we'll pretend the edges are all inked and it's pretty, pretty, pretty. Let's find some flowers to put on it. Oh, let me see. I've got these die cuts. Oh, way too big. But that would have been really cute on there. Got them in orange. Different ones in orange. These are pretty fiddly. Teresa, how do you keep yours without getting them all mashed up together and tangled? I have no clue. So if I had just shorter die, I would probably do that. But I do not have a shorter die. So we're going to have to use something different that I've got kicking around. Did you guys have a good week? I had an okay week. I have my grandsons. They arrived yesterday evening, and I took them to school this morning. And I got to pick them up, and they're spending the night. And then tomorrow, my other daughter is going to take them to their place to spend the weekend at the home. And What? Then I get them back next week because their parents are on a work trip to New Orleans. I thought I had a whole bunch of mushrooms. I would like to put a mushroom in front of this. I do have mushrooms. They're under my little birds. Oh, don't want my little birds. No little birds. I want mushrooms. Maybe one like that. One like that. Could we do like a cluster of mushrooms on here? What do you think? Maybe I need a tall leaf thing behind. And then just a couple of, maybe a bigger mushroom. Oh, you're way too big. What do you guys think? Oh, look, a lovely pink one. And then I can put like a little black one. Do you have another little black one? I have a green one. Is that too color clattery, guys? Or does that work? I can swap this one for this one. So, no, that's blue. Need a tall pink one at the back. What else have I got that's tall? Oh, look, I have a brown one. Let's use the brown one as the back. Get rid of the black mushroom. Hey, Anina, nice to see you. We're doing Portuguese insert folded tags. I think I like the pink mushroom better because it's bigger. And then the little green one. You didn't like the black one. So that green one and this green one. What do you think? Too much? Let's get rid of these birds. Put the birds down. We're just working on the outside of a tag. Hey, Andrea, nice to see you guys. This is what we're making. We're decorating the front of this right now. And so when you open it up, you have this wonderful opened up piece of paper. I don't know. It's called a Portuguese Map fold. That's what the gentleman, like I'm copying somebody else's design. I've listed it in the title and I've linked it below in my description box. It's done by Vintage Vibes. And I like this one. How about if I have this one, and too much? Is 3 too much? We don't have these. Okay. First of all, let's swap out this lighting because I'm finding it really glary. So I can only imagine how you guys are finding it. Is that better? No, I don't usually make cards, Andrea. These 3 are good? Do I need grass or something behind it? No, thank you. Okay, we'll use those 3. And I have to change my mushroom count here because I want to have a certain number when I do my did we say grass? Grasses would be good? Yeah. I have no idea what I was saying. Oh, I want to put them on it. So I've got some grasses. Lime green grasses. So we could have something like this, and like that. I do have small bugs, or I can make one. I'll show you how I make my little flies and things. What do you think? Something like that? Yes, no? Little shorter grasses? What have I got? I don't think I got any little shorter grasses right now. I got single strands of grass, but only got a couple of them. Wait. Maybe I've got grasses in more than one place. Does that surprise you guys? Bet it doesn't. Oh, they're way over there. Okay, I gotta go back over here for a minute. Why did I offer grasses, you ask? I don't know. Okay, what have I got? These are the leaves and stuff that I was doing when I did all that cutting last Saturday. So I've got a whack load of little grass bits. These ones are shorter. They're purple. No, don't want those. Here we go. Under the orange leaves, we'll move the orange leaves in with these green leaves. And we'll move, there we go. I got shorter grasses. We'll play with those. Now let's not knock that over. Okay, so here, but you don't want anything behind the top, right? We just want little shorter ones. So if I put one at the front, these aren't even doodled on though. Well, they're just gonna have to make do. One there. I think I like that up that side. Yes, no? That sounds interesting. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it behind this mushroom right there. Using glue stick because I have it. So I glued it behind. So we're going to flip these ends over the top, right? Now we're going to glue this mushroom down here. I'm going to use this gray line as my kind of base. Ah, stop. I had a really hard time with this dry glue. The things just don't want to lie nice for me. Okay, Andrea, Halloween cards are fun. So now I'm going to put this little mushroom here. And so that bit of grass is going to be popping there. Hey, Sherry, welcome. I'm doing these really cute little tags with the big fold out center sheet. So right now I'm just decorating the outside of the tag. So if I put this one, no, I think I need some grass under it. I'm going to put a piece of grass right there. Right there. Like I said, this grass isn't doodled. We're kind of over this a little bit. This one's going to go here. Maybe. Oh, yeah, no, that's there. Put it there. Don't want it hanging over the edge. Move it in. Move it in. That looks good. Does that look good? I like it. We're going to put it there. You know, I can never decide. Never decide. Okay, so now I've got these other two little pieces of grass. I'm going to put one down here like this. I like it. We got some depth happening here. Got some depth happening. Want it so that it kind of covers where the bottom of that mushroom is, so it looks like it's not hanging in midair like it is. And then this one is going to go over here. Oh, I wish it was the other way around. I can kind of, what can I do here? Well, I can always break it apart, right? I can take that leaf off. We'll just trim this down. This is going to go here. No, it's going to go there. It's going to go there. Right on top of that stem. And this one is going to go towards the side. Sticking out the side. Kind of like this. There. Now, I'm going to need something at this bottom here, because I got a big gap. You know what? Maybe I'm going to take a piece of that bright green. Stick down. Stick down, stick down. If I take this, and I can just cut the leaves, the stems off, and just add them here so that it looks like there's more lighter grass in the front, we can do that. We can do that. We can make like little shorter ones, right? Like this, like that, like that. And then we can use these ones as well if we have to. And I think we'll probably end up having to. Oh, purple glue everywhere. So we're going to start by putting one over here on the side. Just so it looks a little bit more natural. Spread them out that little bit. Just trying to cover up the fact that I've got my mushrooms floating, because mushrooms really don't float. Okay, I'm going to have to use a couple of these as well. And this one's not really nicely shaped. Let's give it a bit more shape. It's better. Yeah, I like the shorter grass. And I know this mushroom's quite hidden, but you know what? I think it's fine. I really think it's fine. Like that. Like that. And I think that's good. And it's not right to the bottom. It's okay. I can come in with gel pen or whatever after and add a bit more touch up to it. I think that's going to work just fine. Okay, so there, and of course I would doodle on those grasses too. So we're going to trim them so that they're flush. There we go. So that's a cute front. So now Of course, it would have like this little band going across it as well. And then, of course, you can stamp the sentiment or write the sentiment of whatever this tag is for on the front. Something like happy birthday or something. Okay, there we go. Right? So that would the band would have the lettering on it of whatever this tag is for. Again, you could edge the book page behind with ink. You could put flowers on it. You could put ducks on it. You could put anything you want on the front of the card. We're just using what Kim happens to have on hand. This is the base of the card. So it was an 8.5 by 2.5 piece of cardstock, folded in half. We decorated one piece of it, one side, like this. Now we're going to set that aside. Now we're going to take a 6 by 6 inch piece of paper. We've got pink and green. Let's use this one for the center. Now this is the fun part. Can you guys see this okay? Do I need this on? No, that's too bright. We can't do it that way. Okay, 6-inch square piece of paper. We're going to fold it in half this way. Got it? 6-inch piece of paper folded in half that way. Now we're going to turn it and we're going to fold it in half this way. I don't think these pages are quite square. Doesn't matter. Okay, now we folded it that way. Okay, so we've got it in 4 squares, right? 4 squares. Can you see that? Now we're going to take this corner, or the other, whatever. You're going to do a corner to corner fold. Right? Now you have a big triangle. Okay, so now we are going to take this corner and fold it in on the crease that you've got folded and fold it backwards up into there, like that. Does that make sense? Do you guys have that? I'll do it again on this side, of course. So you're going to take this corner and you're going to take those points and put it with those points. And you're going to fold it on the fold that you had there. And now we have a square. Do we have it? Do you guys have it? Do you have it? Yes, no? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this corner, right? This is the square. We're going to take this corner and we're going to fold it to the center line. Okay. Now we're going to flip it over this way. And we're going to take that corner and fold that one to the center line. So now you've got something like that. Do we have it? Just watching, not making? Okay. Now, we're going to turn it this way. Right? That's where we tucked that side in. Now we're going to do the same thing. Take the corner and fold it to the center line. Then we're going to flip it. And we're going to take the other one and fold it into the center line. Okay, so now we have this, what's it called? It's got 6 edges. Yeah. Okay, now what we're going to do, open side to the top. Hey, nice to see you, Peter. We're going to have the folded edge, the open edges to the top. And we're going to kind of unfold this. Now we're going to take these ones, right? Those ones that we just folded in like that. And we're going to tuck them inside like we did this other side, right? So we're going to do that with all 4 of them. So we've got it. We poke it in and fold. Fold it on the folds the opposite way. So now we've got this one. I find it works just fine if you kind of open it up and push it on this fold. And it folds in just lovely to where the point was and the folds are. this side's not going because it wants to make a liar out of me. It's like a kid, right? There we go. Okay, so it's folded in. So you still have this shape, but now those are folded into the middle. Now we're going to do that on this side as well because they all need to be tucked in. Is this making sense to everybody? I need to know because I just do it and I'm not really always great at explaining. Okay, so those get tucked in. And then this one, again, open it up that little bit, push that fold in. So we've got this shape, right? So now we've got this so that when we open it, it does this, right? And it's pretty cool because it goes back into shape the way it should, right? So that's how you do the Japanese map fold, evidently. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, make sure the open end is towards the bottom, towards the edge. I can't make either of those. This is called a Portuguese map fold. I don't know where it comes from, but I am using origami paper. So now we're going to glue this side. I guess it doesn't really matter which side we glue. We just need to glue the side. And we kind of try not to get the other edges if they're not quite level. Like here, see, I got that big wad of glue in the middle there. We don't want that. Or that one. See, this is glue. Kim. Now I'm going to get mucky fingerprints all over this. Now we're going to put it right against the fold at the top, or just a smidge down from the fold at the top. And kind of center it on both sides. Let me push it down. And we get that mucky glue mark that I didn't want. Okay. Where are my baby wipes? I should have a baby wipe for this. Does this make sense to you guys? Yeah. I crumple paper really well. Really, really, really well. You know what? Those are kind of greasy, aren't they, those baby wipes? Ugh. Okay. So now we're going to put glue carefully on this side of that. Trying not to get in between any of the folds. Now we're going to close this and push it down pretty hard. Right? So remember, this is a 2.5 by 8.5 inch piece of cardstock. Folded in half. One section decorated. We did that funky fold thing. Glued it in. So now it's like magic. When you open it up, you have a space to write a letter. And it closes. And then this was just a 6-inch by 1/2 inch piece of regular paper. And it was just done like this to make the band for it. So what I'm kind of thinking, though, because, you know, I do it and then I get other ideas of how to change things. If you glued a ribbon down on the back so that you could tie it in a bow in the front, and they have to undo the bow and then open it up. But as it is, if we've got this little kind of belly band kind of thing that we can decorate or whatever, and it just slides on and off so they can open it up. And there you have the fun little tag. What do you guys think? Is that cute? Are you going to try it? Do I need to fold another one so that you guys can try it again? Should I go slower? Thoughts? Ideas? Anyone? It is a very cute little tag thing. I was actually thinking if I still had kids that I did advent calendars for, it would be nice to have this like for every day up until Christmas with a lovely little note for, you know, things that I appreciate about them, or, thanking them for something special they did throughout the year. Just little feel good notes inside. Or, like I say, if somebody's retiring, or you've got a big group birthday party, or whatever, where you need a lot of signatures, that works. So, basically, that's what I wanted to show you is how to do this. Should I do the folding again so that people can see it again? And of course, you're going to decorate it the front any way you want. You could use an elastic, you could use ribbon, you could use whatever you want as the little wrap for it. I was thinking it'd be kind of fun, have like almost a plainish background with a really decorative band. So, okay, I'm going to do the fold again just so that I know that I've shown you twice. Because I think that's the big crunch part for it. So again, the outside cardstock is 2.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Fold it in half, decorate one side. 6 by 6 inch piece of paper. Gladly. So this is the one I made while you were gone, right? Did the little belly band wrap thing. We decorated it with some of my mushrooms and grasses, and we folded that and put that on the inside. Are your puppies okay, Teresa? Are your pups okay? Now, I'm doing it so that the white is on the inside, because I think that if I was writing a letter to someone, that I would like to do it on the plain side. You don't have to. You could do it this side. It doesn't really matter, right? It's just that when you open it, you see the color. I guess it doesn't matter which way you do it. When he did it, he had a wonderful, oh, you have to give them meds? Oh, okay. That's always hard to do. When my last dog, she had to have pain meds in the end, and she was just a witch for taking them. So the vet told me to crush them up and mix them with a little bit of water and give it to her in a syringe and shoot the syringe at the back of her throat so she couldn't spit it out. Oh, my poor girl. Anyhow, the gentleman who did this, the person from Vintage Vibes, used a really cute owl picture in the middle. Seriously, go check that video out. It's linked right at the top of my description box. He didn't do the tutorial for how to fold it. I watched it, you don't want to know how many times. And I worked along with him because I didn't know where to find the second video where he gave the tutorial on it. So anyway, this is a Vintage Vibes creation. So you have a 6-inch square piece of paper, and that works perfectly with the 2.5 inch by 8.5 inch piece of cardstock. Yeah, I know you have to shove them down, and then you have to close their mouth and put their heads up and rub their throat so they swallow, because otherwise they're going to spit it out. Okay, so we fold it once this way, in half. Then you open it. Are you following along, Teresa? Or are you just watching? We fold it this way, in half. So now we have it so that it's in 4 segments. Trying to show the shadowing on the paper so you can see how it's folded. So now we're going to fold it up to the corner to corner, just once. I know you guys have done a lot of folded stuff, and you probably have easier ways of doing this, but I'm not really a paper person folding kind of. But I saw this and it intrigued me. So now we've got this. So we're going to take this one and see where we have the fold. We're going to push it up and in so that those folds And now we're going to fold the other way around. Hey, Dorothea, nice to see you. No, Doretha. I always put that extra R in. Sorry, hun. Okay, so now we're going to take this side and the same thing. We're going to push it up into the center and fold it. So now we have a little square. Right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to have this open side. We're going to kind of lift this up and take this corner and fold it to the fold. Fold it into the fold. Now we're going to do that the same thing with that side. We're going to take it and also fold it into the fold. So then when it's tucked down, you have a flat edge here. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to take and fold it into the fold in the center there. Crease it good. And then this one we're going to take and fold into the center as well. I like having it on the bottom so I can push against the table or desktop or whatever you're working on so you get a nice crisp fold. So now we have a shape like this. Does that make sense? We have a shape like this. Now we're going to take each of these. Oh, you're talking to, yeah. You know, when I watched his video, I think the video was like a minute, maybe two, and he did it, the whole thing. Decorated the front, did the little belly band, did this folded thing. So I watched it a few times. Okay, so now we're going to take these little folds and we're going to do the same thing that we just did with the big one, and we're going to fold them into the center, like turn them inside out so that they're towards the inside now. Now we're going to do this one, same thing. All four of those have to get folded in now. Right? So this one still has the little folds. If you take this side, open it up, you've got the folds here. This side, they are tucked in. Right? So we want to tuck them in. You do the journal for the community? Nice. Now we're going to do that on this side as well. We're going to take those little folded in bits and we're going to tuck them in. This one, and we're going to tuck it in into the middle of that big folded thing. Okay, so now we've got this shape again. Awesome, Peter. Okay, so now when you are making this thing, you have to make sure that this open end with all these pointy things are at the side that opens. Okay, and this closed end where it's all folded together gets into the fold on the card stock, right? So that when you open it, it does its magic. Does that make sense? Oh, there. Okay, so I don't have another cardstock made to do this, but I do have another strip of it. So it is 8.5 inches that I need. Let's just find my ruler. And we need 8 and did I say 8.5 or 8.25? Oh my goodness, guys. We'll open this up and find out. 8.25. 8.25 inches. We need 8.25 inches. 2.5 by 8.25 inches. So it's there. A dot there and a dot there. And we're going to cheat because I can. And hope it's square. I got kind of like that torn edge, to be honest with you. That kind of makes it look that little bit rustic. I might end up tearing both edges. You can see using a pop-up. This is a pop-up card. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got this thing that, then you would decorate it. We're not decorating it. Now you glue this side and you put it close side down at the top of the fold. Let's get that glue stick. Oh, look. This is just a little bit shorter than it's supposed to be. It just fits in there, lengthwise. Goodness. It's okay. It's okay. So now, like I said before, when you're gluing, you kind of have to make sure you don't get glue between the folded bits because they'll stick together and not open up when you want them to. So now we're just going to glue that up at the top, kind of center it in the middle. Yeah, it kind of hangs out the bottom a bit. That's fine. Right? You can barely see the little tip at the bottom. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so now we've got this. Now we're going to just lightly glue this side as well. Again, careful not to get any between those silly folds because it won't open. Ask me how I know. Yeah, and then we're going to press that down. Now, right now, because I haven't decorated either the front or back, it doesn't matter which is the top and which is the bottom. Or, front or back. Definitely, this is the bottom of the card because you want them to open it this way. And there you have that marvelous space to write a letter. Teresa, I was thinking this would be good. Like if I had kids that still got advent calendars, or if I was doing like the 12 days of Christmas or something, I would put one of these in each of their lunches. And there would be a note inside telling them how much I appreciate them, what I thought they did great that year, like helped without being asked on a certain chore. Yeah, a book page would be fine in the middle. It doesn't hold a gift card. It's not big enough for a gift card. It's not big enough for an ATC. But you know what? I'm thinking a letter to them about the marvelous things they've done during the year. Like, congratulations, you aced that math test you were scared about. Things like that. Because I used to keep track of that kind of thing when my kids were in school, like throughout the year, so that I could, leave them little notes in their lunches and stuff. Just, not every day, like Christmas, if I was doing this, yeah, I would do it every day. But, they never knew when they were going to get a little happy note. I could always kind of tell in the mornings, you know how when kids get up, sometimes they're just that little bit off. So then I would make sure they would have something fun in their lives. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. So anyway, that's how you do it. So you can decorate the outside any which way you want. And then, of course, like I say, these little belly band things, it's 6 inches by 1/2 inch, and it's wrapped, folded over. The reason you don't do it until it's decorated is because sometimes maybe you want to put a piece of lace on. Maybe you want to put something, a gem or whatever. And like I said earlier, if you glued a ribbon across the back and brought it to the front and tied a bow, limited by your imaginations, guys. So this just kind of slides on. And on the tab, you could put like happy birthday or whatever, right? It's like, but I thought that, this would be absolutely gorgeous. I'm actually thinking that maybe I'm going to make a few for my daughters to put in their kids' stockings, because my grandkids, even though they're adults, still get stockings. So, yeah. So anyway, that's the tag with the Portuguese Map fold. And again, that is through Vintage Vibes. They have a website. It is called vintagevibesdiaries.com. But I got this through Vintage Vibes on Pinterest. You know how they have quick little videos. So it was like quick little video, and I watched it a bazillion times so I could figure out that fold because he didn't explain it on there. Yeah, definitely you could put a gift card in there. Can I make a sunflower? As in painting, as in stitching, as in what would you like with a sunflower, Sherry? Crochet? Multiple ways of doing it. I could. If you want me to paint one, I can paint one. These are like a little bit small. I would probably use an 8-inch square, but I don't know what an 8-inch square would. Painting, drawing, yeah, I can show you how to paint one right away. I would use an 8-inch square and then cut the ephemera. Oh yeah. So you would like a picture of a sunflower on a card or something, Sherry? Like on tags or just random sunflowers on what? Okay, I'm going to show you how to paint a sunflower. Is this clean enough that I can show you on? Does that work for you, hon? I need yellow, and I need brown, and I need black for the center. Got it right here. Let me just run and get to using a journal. Yeah. Okay. You're going to follow along with me? If you're going to follow along with me, you need yellow and black and brown and green for the leaves and stems. I just got to get a cup of water. So that I can rinse my brush. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Do you have this stuff? Okay. Wait, you need your computer? Okay. Sherry, are you following along, hun? Just looking for my paint lid. Paint lid? Just had a paint lid. Well, just take another one. It's not like you're lacking them. Okay. We're going to start with the yellow. So we're going to put down some yellow. You need a flat brush. Let's see what I'm going to use. Depends on how big you want to do it. I will use a 1/2-inch flat brush to show you because I'm going to do it big. So you can always use a smaller brush, right? Got that. Maybe just a hint of orange, or I'm just going to put a couple of drops of red in that. Or beside it so that I can have a little bit of orange. Just a hint. I don't want it on every petal. And of course I will need greens. All right, I got greens. Okay, so we're going to start with the petals. Okay, so you're going to draw the center of your sunflower. Some sort of circle. Okay, some sort of circle. Does that make sense? Teresa, do you have your computer, hon? Do. Guys, got anything exciting? Okay, anything exciting planned for the weekend? Anyone? So I've got yellow with just a little bit of red. So we're just going to basically take the yellow, just a tiny little bit of red, like just, can you see that? yellow, and just a tiny little bit of red. Now, the kind of stroke we're going to use is it's going to be flat and go up to a point like that. Can you see that? Flat, a little bit of a twist up to a point. Got it? Now, you don't need to use red. You can use orange. You can use brown. The caution, though, is it might go a little bit green. But anyway, okay, so that's the thing we're going to do. Yeah, I've got the boys for part of tomorrow. And then, of course, I'll be streaming Sunday because it's group play. Not sure what we're doing. Okay, so basically you got a circle. You're just going to do that all the way around the circle. These little pointed. I've got way too much red on my brush. That's okay because these petals are behind. And you just put them close together all the way around the circle. Okay? Right? And like I say, these are the ones that are going to be behind. Because you're going to do another row of petals on top between them kind of thing. Okay? Got that? Are we doing it? Are we doing it, guys? Do we have that? Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go between them. And of course, you can do them a little bit bigger. Whatever works for you guys. Whatever works for you. And I always trim my work. I'm bad for that. I feel I have more control, and there's nothing wrong with it. Remember, I'm self-taught. Now we're just doing petals between. So then when it comes time to do the outlining, you only do, you see the petal on top is here. So you do this. Right? That one's on top, this one's on bottom, like that. And then, of course, you would take like a gray or yeah, probably a gray, and just do like little wee lines. Use a pencil crayon. Use your pen that you're outlining with. You don't need to outline it in black. I would probably actually prefer to outline it in a brown, if that makes sense. So that's how you do the petals. So you put it flat and you twist. Flat, twist. Because you want them to have that little bit of a, you could go longer, definitely longer, especially for the first row that you do. Does that make sense? Is it working for you? Just about grabbed my tea, guys. Just about grabbed my tea to rinse my brush. Okay, so now for the center, we're going to take brown. We're going to take brown. Really, we're going to take brown. Come on. Oh, are you that dry? Let's see what happens. Okay. You're sketching, so it's not quite the same? Yeah. So if you're sketching it, Teresa, I would do the front petals first and then the back petals. The reason being, let me just get rid of this big blob of brown paint that's clogging up my... It's dry, really dry. All right. Got it. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So when you're sketching it, here's your circle, right? It's over here. So you would do your front petals, and then you would do the back petals. Because you don't want, if you're sketching it, you would have the other lines in there, and you don't want those other lines in there. Can you see that? Let me bring that closer. Do you see how that works, Teresa? So then when you're shading it, if you're doing it with colored pencils, I would probably take maybe an orange, and then yellow, but pink. You know, this lighting just sucks. Okay, so then I would take orange, and I would do just a little bit of orange, maybe in the center of the petal, at the bottom, and then fill the rest in with the yellow. And it kind of blends and it gives it that little bit of depth. And then you would take the gray or blue or something, maybe a brown. Let's use a brown. And then do the little mark in the center, right? So this would have the mark in the center. Maybe just a little bit of orange way down at the bottom here, almost like a shadow. And then the yellow. Does that make sense? I know it's really hard to see. Let's pick all this stuff up. I can hold it up. Can you see that? Does it make sense, hon? If you were using markers, the same kind of thing. Do the dark before you do the light. No, do the light before you do the dark. Never mind. Whatever's going to work best for you. Okay, so now the center of the sunflower, we're getting brown. We're getting brown paint now. Bit of brown paint. Oh, lots of dry uckies in this paint. You can tell it's not my favorite color because I really don't use brown much. Ucky. Okay, now we're going to use black. This is new paint, and it's really thick. And you don't really need much. That's probably way much. Okay, so then with your flat brush, you're going to take the brown, and you're just going to kind of stipple around the edge. Maybe you want a round brush. Take a round brush for that, because the flat brush leaves such a flat mark. Let's take a round brush. It's quite a stiff round brush. It's an ugly brush. But just around the edge, because you want it to look puffy, right? Like some seeds are kind of going over. It's not flat, is what I'm trying to get at. Not flat. And you're going to do that all the way around the edge, kind of over the petals a little bit, because you want it to look like it's got seeds happening, right? You can actually go over a little bit, just lightly, so it looks like you got seeds on the outside. I'll hold it up so you can see it right away. Okay. Now you're going to use that same brush for the black. And you're going to do it the same way. You want it to be kind of stipply, not solid, because that's going to give it the impression that it's seeds. Right? You can go over the brown just really lightly. we made funky tags, and Sherry wanted to know how to paint sunflowers, so I'm just doing a quick sunflower painting. Sherry, is it working for you, hon? So we don't want it solid. We want it to be kind of splotchy. Right? Want it to be splotchy. Oh, yeah, Brown doesn't want to play today. Not that one, anyway. I have others. But of course, the one I grabbed because I'm showing somebody something, it's not a fun one. Oh, I've been doing that. And then I get sidetracked like crazy. So then, of course, you do a green stem and big leaves, right? I can't remember what shape they are. Let me just check and let's figure out sunflower leaves. I've grown them often enough, I should know. Okay, so it's like a heart-shaped leaf. They're this shape. And they're big. And they've got a toothed edge, like they're jagged. So when you paint them, and then when you're doing your outlines and stuff, use a jagged line to do the edges of them. Right? Does that make sense? And then I would use a flat brush to do them. You sent me a picture? All right. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Ah, Miriam's Inktober. Very cool. She did tropical today, and it was a bird. Awesome. Okay, I just have to find it where there. Okay, that can go away. Yeah, Sherry, like that. Like that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That worked out really nice. I don't have my tablet down here, so I can't show you guys, but maybe Sherry will post on Meet Your Creativity. All right. So, Malia, this is what we made today. I saw this thing on Pinterest because those of you who know me know that I listen to a lot of audiobooks and I play a game. Like if my anxiety is over and above normal, I listen to an audiobook and I play a video game. But unfortunately, for some reason, all of a sudden, my video games are overriding my audiobooks. And it's not like if it goes from one screen to the next, like I play SimCity. So if I go from one town to the next town, it'll knock off my audiobook as I'm changing towns. I've got the sound turned off. I have no idea what its problem is, but it's really, really irritating. So I've been flitzing through Pinterest and I came across this video by Vintage Vibes. And it was a little tag with a fun insert. So it's got a belly band to hold it closed. You decorate the front. This is a 2.5 by 8.25, 8.5. We just went through this. 8.5, 8.25. It's in the description box. You decorate one side, the back's blank. You can decorate it, do what you like. It's just a holder for this. But the inside goes like this. So it's got this big writing space. And I was saying how it would be lovely if my kids were still little and I was doing advent calendars or even to tuck in their lunchbox. I could write a letter in there saying how much I appreciated something that they did. Or, congratulations on surviving the math test you were stressed out about. Little things like that. Because I would love to flip some notes in my kids' lunches quite often. Yeah, and it's a really cool fold. Like I watched his video quite a few times, and it's simple enough. I just used a 6-inch square of origami paper. You could use 6 inches of anything square, 8 inches. Then you would just have to adjust the size of the outside. But I just really like the idea that it's this little pop up kind of thing. This is my prototype. But you could write a whole letter. I was even saying if somebody was retiring, that gives you a lot of space to write people's names down, or even a thank you to the teacher, things that you appreciate they did with your kids over the year. Anyway, I folded it 2 times earlier in the stream. So, yeah. So I have, like I was saying earlier, I have been watching Beth and Anne-Laure do their forest books. And their forest books are beautiful, and I'm really intrigued. And I have been trying to, Teresa, that's beautiful. Perfect. That's awesome. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So they're doing these forest books, and they're having a blast doing them and making up stories, and they're just being Beth and Anne, right? So, of course, I didn't have a forest book, but I do have a whack load of coffee table books. So I chose this one. And I have been a child and playing in this for the last few days. I've got a lot of trains coming out of oceans. But I've also, my kid gave me some parenting magazines and some Canadian living magazines. But this is the kind of pictures that's in there. So I glued a orca. And then this one, I had a lot of fun this one. Except the guy's not quite looking at the lizard. The cat's looking at the lizard, but the guy's looking down. So I have to have something fun down here. And then, of course, trains. Oh, you're welcome. But I've never done this before. I've got scuba divers over here. And elephants, because, British Columbia and Oregon have elephants. Ladies sleeping on the beach. Got a crow eating out of a frying pan. Found this kid sitting in a lifeguard chair. Of course, she wasn't in the middle of water. And then I found a cool chihuahua. So I'm having a blast. I am having a blast with this book. I'll show you my favorite page because I'm a child. I've got a couple of absolute favorite pages. But this one is this one. Doesn't he look like it's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm going off the edge. Watch this. Because, he's a boy. Where's my other one? I've got a pickle in the mouth because everybody needs a pickle in their book. Here. So, there's a tree in this book. Yeah, he's up to no good. You can just see it, right? Like just munchkin. So there was this tree and it kind of had like a hook in it. So I wanted to have something hanging from that hook. And I found a little boy on a tire swing, but it was way too big for that page. So I put him on this page. These are different magazines, right? I've got 4 or 5 magazines that my daughter was kind enough to share with me. So I pulled him out of that magazine. He was too big for that droopy tree. And then I found this robot. And it says, warning, Lil Johnny will be vomiting in 3 minutes. So I had to add it to that page. Because seriously, he's in the treetops, guys. And that was just so perfect. And of course, my family is shaking their heads at me. My grandsons are having a bit of a kid, like a little, bit of fun with it. They roll their eyes at me, but it's, yeah. So this is what happens when you have a parenting magazine. Yeah, exactly. Right? Like this, I'm really not good at fussy cutting, but I try. So I actually broke down and bought a whole bunch of glue sticks because I found that you really can't use liquid glue for this. You really, really can't. So that's kind of what I've been up to the last little while, guys. Flipping through magazines and putting trains in the middle of the ocean and stuff like that. What have you guys been up to? Yeah, that kid on the bike. I actually got Ron to help me with that when we went through the whole book 2 or 3 times, figuring out where that kid on the bike should work out good before we decided to put him where he was. Because I figured Ron was a bit of a daredevil on his bike, so he would know where this little boy was meant to be. So anyway, I've got like 4 books that I want to do this to now. So yeah, you know, you guys, you're such a wonderful influence. Blame it on Ron. No, that's I blame not on Ron, but the playing. The playing. I need to sit, guys. My knees are not happy today. Um, I have stuff everywhere. Let's put this bin of bits back over here so I don't spill it. I had to clean space down here because my grandson's sleeping down here this week. Parents are in New Orleans for work. So I got the boys for a couple of days, and my daughter's got them to stay. My other daughter's going to stay with them at their place for the weekend. All right. Let's think. Has Ron brought me anything cool lately? He did bring me in something, but he took it back out. Said I couldn't have it yet. There's a magnets on a spring, and so that when you pushed other magnets against them, they would shoot across the room. Fun. Yes. So yeah, not really much new in my world. Just trying to clean and organize. And I have come across so much stuff, guys. Like I've got these Artist Loft watercolor pencil crayons. I didn't even know I had them. They were in the back 40. I have a whole set. So I just shake my head at me. And then I've got drawing pencils. And I think these are charcoal. Like a bunch of charcoal pencils as well. I could play with those on the gel plate. Hey, speaking of gel plates, I watched a video and they put the paint down on the gel plate and then they took Q-tips, and they doodled in the paint with the Q-tips. So they removed the paint for the doodles. No, they're like 13 and 15. They're not going to glue. They're not going to be nice gluing. They make a mess. They're not crafty, these ones. They will play on the gel plate with me occasionally, but when it comes to fussy cutting and gluing, I love them, but it's not something they want to do. They'll help me cook. They will bake. They made their own lunches for school today, but and they do cook. They cook at home quite often. They'll make supper, but yeah, no. They don't play here with me. Okay, so you have your gel plate and you put the paint down. Then you take a Q-tip and you remove things. So it's almost like a reverse doodle kind of thing. So you do your flower or mandala or whatever, and you remove the stuff, and then you put more color down, and you can do that again in that color, or you can pull it. And some of those are just absolutely incredible. Have any of you guys done that? Inquiring minds want to know. You haven't done it? Some of the patterns that they came up with, oh my word, okay, so they obviously have been doing it for a long time. They obviously doodle often. Not, I mean, I doodle, but not to that extent. But what time is it? It's 2 o'clock. Okay, I've got time to pull a gel plate out and try it. If you guys want to bear with me for a minute, I'm willing to give it a try. Might as well just a little bit because we can. Gel plate. Oh. No, guys, my mom used to say she suffered from pilot's disease. Me too. I pile things here, I pile things there. It's just brutal. Okay, somebody's messaging me. Oh. Just a daughter. Okay, so I've got Q-tip beside me. I have my jacket. Got my jacket. Oh, there's a bubble underneath it. Hate when we get bubbles underneath, guys. Just have paper on. Because some told me that's a really good way to store it. But look, I've got a huge bubble. Let's see what happens. We're playing anyway, right? We're just playing. So I've got this black paint here. Let's just put some more on. We can just put more on because we can. Rare. Look, I can just reach for it and it's right there. And I probably didn't have to do the whole page, but I did. Yeah, that bubble's going to cause me grief. For pity's sake, I think I have to totally recondition this. That's a lot of paint, Kim. Oh, what were you thinking? Yeah, that bubble left a mark, guys. Well, guess maybe I need to take this plate, give it a bath, and totally recondition it. Okay, so let's take a Q-tip. I've got a Q-tip. Too much paint. Yeah. So they did like really funky flower kind of things. We're just testing. We are just testing. We're not doing anything. It's almost like using a stencil, right? Like, and then when you get lines, when you've got paint in the lines, you can just come with the other side of the Q-tip and clean them out because you don't want the lines in there. Some of them they did leave some lines, but they really tried not to. Okay, so maybe this is a little pickier than. My Bureau of Papers? I don't know, there's here someplace. You know how I roll. They're around. I don't know where they are. Just don't know, but that's okay. Huh. This one needs a leaf over here, 'cause otherwise it's got none on that side. I think I want to leave the lines in the leaves, give them a little bit of something, something. All right. So we got a couple of flowers. What else do we need? We need a. We're just playing, right? Let's do a cat. Dipped my hand in the wet paint, so we'll just do some little marky things. Because okay, let's do a cat. Just a sitting down backwards cat. Like that. Just play. What about a house? Should we do no? What's easy to draw? Give me something easy to draw. I can't think. How about just some swirls, some spirals? Because remember, I'm just going to be tearing this up for backgrounds, anyways. Um, you know what? They let the paint dry in some places. They just used a little bit of water on the end of their Q-tip to remove it. I kind of like this. To be honest with you, kind of like it. I could see where you could do some really fun things with this. Because I need paint all the way up my arm. Okay, up here it's getting dry, it's tacky. That's okay, it's just fine. Yeah, they just kind of made marks all over the gel plate. And of course, they did double petaled flowers. Yeah, definitely. Doing dots like this is really easy to remove the paint. My word. I can have a lot of fun with this. This might be the way I'm really going to enjoy using the gel plate. I mean, I enjoy using it, but sometimes you just want something that's totally your own, and using a stencil or whatever may not be it. Oh, that removes the paint. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. So, I wonder what color I should pull it with. I have red. Yeah, I bet those dotting Q-tips you can get? They are in a set, and they have some really big fat ones and some really, really tiny ones. Like I wouldn't want to use these on the gel plate because I think they've got a bit too much of a point. But you can get Q-tips in various dimensions. I think that would be rather lovely. How wet are you? I can touch it. It's not wet. You know what? Let's give this kitty some stripes. We're going to see what happens. Because you know what? We're just playing. It's just paint. It's just going to be a piece of paper. You haven't seen those there? I have a container of them. I have a package. Bear with me. I have to go and see what they're called. They are called, they're made by Grip, Grand Rapids Industrial Products. Grip, Grand Rapids Industrial Products. 325 PC Industrial Cotton Swab Assortment. And they have all these different sizes. I don't know if that layer has to dry first. You know me, I watch videos and I just kind of listen. But I looked at the finished product and I went, oh, I like that. So we're going to add some red because I love black and red together. Rear. Well, I have to say that looks very interesting. Very interesting. Let's grab this paper. I got those at either PV Mart or Princess Auto Sherry. Hey, and welcome. Well, that's okay. This isn't what I did today, Anne. I just asked if anybody had doodled on their gel plates like this because I saw a video on it and I figured I had to try it. And I figured, might as well see what happens. You know what, guys? I love it. I love it. That's fun. Okay, look at all these greeblies that are left. Let's pull that with a yellow now. Because we can. Because there's still lots of stuff here. Oh, I got a greebly on my brayer. I'm making lines. Stop it. Yeah, no, I wasn't planning on gel printing today, Anne. Had some time left. I don't have to get my grandsons for another hour. So I figured I'll show you what we did today. Just grabbing another piece of paper. So, and this is what we did today. We made these little tags. So it's got like a little belly band, and it's a tag. It's a folded piece of cardstock, and you open it up, and you get this lovely thing to write a letter on. So I thought it'd be lovely to do like letters to the grandkids for Christmas or whatever. Or it doesn't hold a gift card or anything like that because I just used a 6-inch square, probably an 8-inch square. I'd hold a gift card, but I saw this on Pinterest. A fellow from what's it called? VintageVibesDiaries.com did a thing on Pinterest with them. And I had to try it. So I did. Oh, look at this. Guys. That was the second pull. I love that one. So I was saying that, it'd be kind of cool if my kids were still in school because, quite often I would pop a note in their lunches or whatever. That could be kind of fun. I like that. Yeah, I still have a lot of stuff on there, but that's okay. Should we try it again? Guys, should we try it again? Should we try it again? Okay, let's try it again. I'm like a child. Yeah, I do. I'm not going to put as much paint on this time. Learned my lesson. Although I'm pretty sure that they used a fair chunk of paint. That bubble is still bothering me. That's okay. We will deal with it eventually. All right. So, you put paint down on your gel plate. You take a Q-tip and you draw in it. Let's just do like a vine kind of thing. And some leaves. I'm all about the backgrounds. Okay, so we did some leaves. And I really liked those dots. I really liked the way those dots worked. Like the Q-tip pulls the paint off in such perfect little circles. That's, and I like small bits of things because that's who I am. So I've got dots over there. Let's do some dashes. Paint's drying. I can feel it. It drags when it dries. But because it's a Q-tip, I'm not overly concerned that it's going to do any damage. Add black and pull. Put a sunflower on it. Oh, a sunflower, maybe. Let's do a sunflower. Because it's like drawing, you got to start with the inside petals first. Uh-oh. Getting down to the stick on that Q-tip. And second layer of petals. Here. Okay. And then we need dots in the middle. Now, okay, so I've got sunflower, I got lines, I got dots, I got a vine. Let's add the little vein things on the leaves. Like when they did their doodles, they did like a lot of 2 rows of things like this, right? And then they did pattern inside the lines. So I'm just doing a zigzag. Let's do a spiral over here. Oh, paint is dry. Paint is dry. And okay, we'll just do some lines down the side like I did last time, because I really like those lines down the side. Thought they were kind of cool. A lot of artifacts left on this plate from last time. But yeah, they did some really, really, really cool doodles. They did all those round flowers, double-edged, and then they did like a zigzag around between those two lines. Then they did sticks with dots coming out of them, like those really fun doodle flowers. Yeah. Am I going to video when I paint my wall again? You know what? The season is now past it for me painting my wall this year. Unfortunately. I am, though. I'm going to video while I redo it. But now I have to wait for spring. Should we pull this with the yellow or green? Maybe green. Green? You know what? We could put some yellow over here and some green over here. Why do we have to use one color? I need to have yellow sunflower. So yellow over there. And maybe some yellow over here. And let's use, this is a yellow neon. Maybe I want to put just a little bit of that down this vine, but I'll put some additional green. Over here. Yeah. Seriously, Anne, I saw this and I went, that is so cool. I have to try it. And of course, I didn't think about it until I was streaming today. And I saw it months ago. But you know how I operate. I don't always... Oh, I guess I should have done this first. Okay. We'll see what happens here. Oh, I wasn't going to put green on that yellow. Ah, too late. Too late. And I'm just putting this stuff over the black because I find when I do my leaves, when I cut out my leaves, I get a really nice effect with black paint underneath the green. Another piece of paper. Let's see. Oh, green, orange, and red. Yeah, autumn cover. Oh, look, I missed the edge with the paper. It's okay. I don't do green and red. I would do orange and red. And yellow and green. Just can't do red and green as a rule. Ooh, this is very interesting. I like the sunflower. Okay, the vine didn't work out quite as good. Maybe the paint was a little too wet. Maybe I have to wait for the paint to dry just that little bit. But I could see doing the entire page of doodles, right? Like putting the black down and just do swirly lines and yeah. But this here, it's still like stuff from last time, I think. I don't know. Have to wait for the base coat to dry. Have you done this, Teresa? Because this was much drier than that stem thing I did. So I can believe that. And when I did this one, whoa, Kim, you need to clean your area. Um, but the flower was very wet when I did that, but that was really thick paint. And it was drier here and it didn't work as nice as dry over there. I guess maybe I just have to be a little bit slower because you know me. Let's go fast for everything. I really like that though. And you know, I know that we can use stencils for a lot of this kind of stuff, but I kind of like the works well on fabric. Cool. I kind of like the hand drawn looks. I just have to be that little bit slower and more careful. But I'm happy with it. Yeah, exactly. Well, if it works good on cloth, you know, it would make really cool napkins, right? If you did like a center square of the napkin with the leaves in the fall colors, that would be kind of cool. Mind you, it would work just as well with a stencil. The other thing is you're really not going to get two prints the same ever. Like I know you don't usually, but using a stencil, it's more likely that you're going to get the same imprint than if you're doing it this way, if that makes sense. It works with markers, as in watercolor markers. I have watercolor markers. Oh, look. But if I put acrylic paint over them, they're going to smear like crazy. Different color other than black. Watercolor markers, like kids' markers, work. But then why can't I just draw it straight on the page? Acrylic markers on gel plate? Acrylic markers would work on the gel plate. Don't know that I would want to try Sharpies. Okay, something other than. Okay, let's do some red. I know there's green down there already. I'll try it. You use Sharpies? I don't know if I would do that. Red, yellow, brayer. I have just beaten this square gel plate up to beat the band. Like it's just. All right, I've got like 10 minutes and I have to go because I got to get my boys from school. Okay, so we got that. All right, so if I take a new Q-tip, a clean one, this is Deep Red Deco Art, and this is Apple Barrel Matte Yellow. Okay, so what was I doing on here? Leaves? No, the color doesn't continue to come up? Okay. I think I just want to doodle, just like that's what they got. You know, they cleared the paint right off their gel plate. Okay, so when the Q-tip starts getting mucky, you have to switch sides. Yeah, my poor gel plate always had so much greeblies on it that I could see that I would go through a lot of Q-tips if I had to keep doing this, so that I get clean lines. Oh no! Well, doesn't matter. We're just playing. Clean Q-tips. That's not clean. What should I pull this with, guys? White, black, red. Don't want to pull it with red. Clean Q-tip. I don't know what color I want to pull it with. Yeah, and as it gets dry, it's harder to pull the paint right off. What color am I pulling this with? Blue, lavender. I don't have a purple. I have. What do you? Tutti Frutti acrylic paint. I have orange. I have brown, green, black, white, turquoise. Oh, nice, Anne. Excellent. Well, I don't clean my plates before I put them away. My plate. Yeah, I don't. You know, I don't always have the color that we want. I don't think I've got enough paint on here. dries. I think I've got some open paints. Let's do this. Oh, not too much left. Dried pretty fast. This should be interesting. It's still cold, so it means it's still wet, right? It's not warm, so I should be able to pull it lovely. Yes, I can. I just don't want the paper to dry onto it. Oh, there's lots of artifacts from the past one. That's a very interesting background. You think you've got a retarder? Yeah. Probably could have done the turquoise a little bit darker. The red's gone pretty dark on me, but I think that's because I had stuff on the plate still. Yeah, there's still lots of artifacts left on here. And I think that some of the paint did not pull at all. Like I've got lots of stuff left on the plate. So I think what I have to do is give this a wash. You know what? Let's take a clean baby wipe instead of one with paint on it. See if we can get some of this stuff off. Some of this stuff is really crusty and old. Because like I say, I don't... Because I like the little bits that get left over. That's true, Anne. But yeah, I think this actually needs a bath. It's pulling nice, but yeah, I do use packing tape. But I really like the crusty bits. I really, really like the crusty bits. That's what gives it that aged look. Because, my backgrounds or my prints are either backgrounds or I chop them up into fodder. I don't print for print's sake, There we go. I think that's as clean as it's going to get. I think. Yep. Greebly's there. All right. Yeah. See, I like the crusty bits. I really, really do. See, I've got all these bubbles underneath. That's just... See if I can do something about that. See, there's paint on here. Good and dried paint. Oh, and there was a hair or a thread on it. So that's imprinted. That's okay. It's fine. So I'm thinking that this technique would work really nice on the mini plates, like the 4-inch square and the triangle and the oval. So instead of doing huge ones like this, I could do like little miniature prints. Kind of like when I do the ones on aluminum foil, right? You put paint down on aluminum foil and you draw on it with a Q-tip and then you pull it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll put the paper, no, the plastic. Plastic. Try and get all the air bubbles out. Air bubbles don't want to come out. What the heck? Maybe my plates worked, guys. It's a bit better. Do you wet your plate before you put it back on the plastic to get the air bubbles out? Anyone? Yeah, I used to do prints like that with kids. You put paint down on. See, that's still a big bubble thing there. Well, it didn't seem to affect the prints at all, that bubble. Just the very first one, it kind of. No, it didn't. So, yeah, anyway, I'd take like a piece of cardboard and I wrap aluminum foil around it. And then I put a little bit of paint on. I use it like a gel plate, right? Mineral oil and wax paper. I was told just to put regular paper, copy paper down on it. So that's what I've been doing. Mineral oil, yeah, I could do that. After I wash it, I'm going to take it up and put it in the sink and wash it with some dish soap. Oh my goodness, look. I've got flowers. You can still see the flowers on the plate. Well, that's interesting. I wonder what's going to happen with that. All right. So I showed down the little card that we did. I've been altering a book, and I picked up Beth and Anne Laur's thing about altering coffee table books. So I've started one using tray magazines and parent magazines and whatever else my daughter shared with me. You don't remove it, use it all. Well, I think it's going to keep the dust here off of it. I don't use it as often as a lot of other people use their plates. Look, I'm throwing stuff in the garbage, guys. Look. Amazing. Yeah, I don't really use it that often. Wax paper, deli paper, regular paper starts sticking. Oh, well, we'll find out. So, okay, these are the doodle prints that I did. They were fun. I can see how there's a name for this too, the way they do this, and it's called something when you doodle on a gel plate. There's actually a name for it, and I can't remember it. Yeah, I put it back in the clamshell as well. Just so that it stays reasonably clean. I mean, after all the paint and everything we put on the poor things. Are you in? Are you in? I think so. No? Go in. There we go. Yeah, I don't know how humid it is here today. I do not. All right, peeps, thank you very much for coming and watching, and I hope that you guys are going to try these little tag things. Like I say, that is by Vintage Vibes. Vintage Vibes Diaries.com. All one word, all lowercase. Found it on Pinterest, Vintage Vibes 8888. The link is in my description box. And I think that's just a wonderful, wonderful, fun thing. And like I said, I think it'd be nice to glue a ribbon across the back and tie a real big bow. You know, there's many ways to decorate this little piece of cardstock. Many ways. And like I say, if you're doing the belly band thing, don't do it until after you finish decorating because it might be a little bit bigger. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching. Big hugs to you all. I hope to see you Sunday. I'm not sure what we're doing on Sunday. Please sign up for the Halloween if you haven't and you're interested. Contact Miriam for that. What else? I don't think I've got anything else. Big hugs to you guys all. Yes, I will enjoy the boys. They're teenagers. It's very interesting. Just smile and nod, right? Hugs. I'm glad that you did that flower, Sherry. It looks great. Teresa's flower looks great too. The sunflower. And thanks everybody in chat, everybody in the balcony, and anybody who watches the replay. Hugs to you all. Talk soon. Bye.